So just as we get started, in case any of you don't know about my company, it's called Better Health. It's at www.getbetterhealth.com, and it's a medical blogging and media company that reaches about 5 million uniques per month through our network. So it's pretty exciting. Looks like our slides are coming up. And so for today, I thought it would be fun to talk about the realities of how information is actually getting to doctors and to patients from a doctor's perspective. So I did a focus group with 20 bloggers. Together they probably see about 40 to 60,000 patients a year, and just asked them some questions about what's really going on. And so we will begin with our first slide. How do patients get their health news? The doctors think that basically they get it through TV, most commonly. Second most common is print media. So in terms of how people are actually getting health information, it's kind of a little bit on the old school tip right now. Online news is moving up. Friends and family are very important, but newsletters and e-newsletters and Twitter don't seem to actually be reaching a whole lot of patients in their perspective at this point. So this fellow had something interesting to say. My patients get their health information from breathless radio news reports. So hat tip to radio. Do you think that that there is an adequately coordinated method for reaching the public with food and safety alert messages? Blue is no. So most people feel that there is some good work that still needs to be done here. One doctor said that I see the dissemination of food and drug safety alerts as semi-chaos. And as illustration of that, 10 minutes ago, I actually got an email from a pediatrician who filled out this survey, and she said, it's so funny that just this morning I realized that one of the antibiotics that I have, that I prescribe to my patients, has a problem with it. And she's like, I found out because one of my friends called me. She said, I didn't hear from it online, I didn't get an e-newsletter or a mention from the AAP or anything like that. It was just another physician that happened to call her and mention it to her. And she said, and quite frankly, a lot of times I first find out about things from my patients. So when I learn about a food or drug safety alert that is important to my patients, what do you think they do? Well, there's a tie between being passive, meaning do nothing, and perhaps actively calling patients who may be affected. So a lot of doctors just sort of don't do anything about it. And that could be because they don't have an easy mechanism to contact patients who might be affected by this. I mean, how many physicians have an EMR? This is a problem. So some of them did say that they would put up a notice on their website. Of course, with this focus group, they're probably the most tech-savvy docs, a sample of the most tech-savvy early adopter type doctors. So that's nice to know. And again, Dr. Smith said, without an EMR, it's virtually impossible to contact patients in the case of a drug or device recall. I use mine to locate affected patients and then send out letters to them. So this is how the patients are finding out. The doctors are literally, putting a letter in an envelope with a stamp and mailing it to their patients, even if they have an EMR. That's their process. So we definitely need to improve our health IT efforts, I think. So this is a really interesting slide, I think. How do doctors, on average, first learn about food and drug safety alerts? That purple bar represents e-newsletters. So things like MedPage Today or Medscape, that seems to be the #1 way that doctors find out about recalls and alerts and that sort of thing. And so to my public friends over here, I would say that it might be quite useful to think about partnering with Medscape and MedPage and those kind of folks if you want to alert clinicians about recalls. And the second most influential group for doctors happens to be osmosis friends, their peers. So they get information from their peers very commonly. Twitter is becoming a recognizable way that these online tech-savvy physicians do get their information. They sometimes see it on TV, sometimes radio. medical journals, the Wall Street Journal seems to be a source that they like to use, newspapers and NPR. So what is the best way to improve public awareness of food and drug safety alerts? This focus group felt that social media would be the best way. So this is perfect for our session today. So they weren't sure exactly which type of social media would be best. Perhaps Twitter would be helpful. And they also thought that since patients are getting their health information primarily from TV, why not have a better focused effort in informing people through television that's with accurate news, was their second thought, and then there were some others as well. So the doctor-patient relationship is changing. I'm looking for a cheaper doctor on eBay. So what are the best resources for alerts? This is what the focus group said. They said, believe it or not, blogs was a great resource for alerts, that people were finding out about things through blogs. They highly recommended, you'll be happy to know, the FDA and the CDC. MedPage Today and Medscape came up very highly. And About.com and Federal Institute for Drugs and Medical Devices was mentioned. So how do we improve the process of disseminating information? The real problem is trying to get the right recall information to the right person at the right time. Imagine if you had a car and your car was a Ford Taurus and got this message about Honda Civic, problem with their odometer or something, you'd just be like, that doesn't really apply to me, and I'm not that interested in sort of subscribing to the entire car recalls, information points. So we have to figure out how to actually target people who are affected by the recall if we can, without being too big brothery about it. So it's challenging. Some of the thoughts that the folks in the focus group thought were of value were e-prescribing. When pharmacies have information about the medications that patients are taking, then if you can directly contact the ones who are affected by a recall, that's very powerful. EMRs are critical. Just 2 days ago, I saw there was a press release about iGuard.org expands its reach of medication safety alerts and recalls to Microsoft Health Vault members. So there's some good work going on there. I happen to think that coaching tools like Health Dialogue or All One Health would be a great way to disseminate information to people who need to know about safety issues, and they have personalized information about them so they can target the people who are actually affected. And all of these Twitter sites are also very helpful. The question is, though, when P. Diddy has 1 million followers and FDA Recalls has, 10,000 or something, it's like, maybe we could think creatively. If there's like a really big peanut issue, maybe we should go to P. Diddy and just say, hey, would you like to put this out there? Why not? I don't know. Maybe we need to look at who the major Twitter influencers are and see if we can partner with them in case of emergency, that they might want to put that out. I think they'd probably be okay with that. It would reach a lot of people. So, so we really just have to think creatively about how to leverage social media in this new world and move away from mailing letters to people. But that's where we're at. So, thank you very much.